Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadlines so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 2979. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. You know, people hire me for No BS Job Search Advice and career coaching globally because they make the process of finding work and succeeding at it much easier. And here, someone has a question where they want to understand how a manager will make a decision when they're comparing or they have to decide between people with two equivalent backgrounds. I think it's pretty clear, but this person and perhaps you aren't real sure. Hope you find this helpful. I also want to remind you about JobSearch.Community, where I've got free stuff available to you on the homepage, 6, I believe, courses or PDFs that are available to you. Video and PDFs are there. And I want to encourage you, become an insider so I can help you in more detail. All my video courses, books, and guides are available to you there. And depending upon the level of service you choose, you get more or less access to me. So again, JobSearch.Community. And I'll be back in just one moment. How does a hiring manager pick between two equivalent candidates? Now, equivalent is not the same as identical, and that's the key word there. There's no such thing as an identical candidate. Equivalent translates into similar, and each manager has their own weighted scale for how they're going to measure these equivalents. Usually they're fairly arbitrary, and then there are the ones that are involve individual biases or group biases for that matter. I'm not sure a woman would fit into our group was a classic bias, or a person of color was a classic bias that would show up. We've got a bunch of people from East Asia in our group. I'm not sure if a white guy would be able to fit in. There are lots of different variables that go into equivalence. And thus, now moving bias out of the equation, there are things like compensation that are a variable. How much experience, how close that experience is to what we're going to be doing on this project or that we need this person to do. And thus, there's always differences. So, for example, two equivalent candidates, one who wants $10,000 more than the other. I really like her. I think she's terrific, but this guy is pretty much the same and is willing to take $10,000 less. And I can put that into my budget for next year or some other explanation. And thus equivalent gets weighted out pretty easily. So lots of factors. I can't be more specific than these. There are as many variables as there are people in the world. So no simple way to answer the question, but I think you get my points here. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, visit JobSearch.Community. There's a lot more there that'll help you. In the meantime, I'll be back with more tomorrow. Have a terrific day and be great.